Hey there, Nemo Shang here. This is an interesting one for me because I can feel myself. I'm in a different environment. I'm here in my home office, and I just finished a conversation with someone where, in the conversation, I just kind of tapped into the lower part of my purpose, my gut, what my gut was telling me. And what was interesting was that I came into the conversation kind of in a neutral place, and as I kind of allow myself to sink further into my gut, further into what we were calling the second brain, there, it brought up a lot of emotion, but it wasn't like a wellspring of emotion. It wasn't like a volcano erupting, but it was just there. And what I was thinking about, we were talking about the ecosystems and how just small changes in an ecosystem can throw everything off. And it took my mind to a place that I hadn't really expected to go. As I was sitting here, I was sitting in this chair just a couple of minutes ago, and my mind went to a place of just really, I don't know what the word is. I just know that I can only describe it as I'm not impressed. And I was just kind of like questioning, why is it that we keep choosing leaders who are leading us in directions that are not benefiting us? And it's something that's on my mind. I think it's a big reason that I do the work I do with World Joy Movement. It's the reason I work with outliers, pioneers, and mavericks, because I'm like, for some reason, the status quo is consistently choosing options that are not beneficial. And I'm really, really curious as to why that is the case. For me, I think a big part of it has come to the word fear, and and the fear of stepping outside of the norm, the fear of having to take care of it ourselves, and the fear of being confronted with whether or not we are powerful enough or we are resourceful enough to actually you know handle our own issues versus passing on to someone else who says that they can do it for us. I'm just not sure what it is, but all I know is that, like, when I really deep down, when I really check in, I'm just not impressed. And that's not it's an interesting thing for me because, like, typically, like, I'm the leader of the World Joy Movement. You'd think there'd be like more joy, you know? And I at the same time, I believe that this is clearing a path for it. Clearing a path because ultimately I feel like there's it's time for a new set of leaders. And I say this here, not just looking at the US. I'm looking, if you look all around the world, there are leaders that are being elected that consistently seem to be propagating a certain type of mentality. And my question is, like, how is this happening? How does this continue to happen? And where are the people that, like, where are the people who, like, if they were leading, the world would just like move in alignment, and we can move into a world of collaboration as opposed to in a world of transformation versus a world of disruption. So I'm wondering where y'all at, where y'all at. I think the second part of it too, it ties back to choosing to work with the World Joy Movement. And it's really, at the core of it all, it's really about activating the leaders out there that can and are making an impact that we would want to have leading us, whether it's in our organizations, whether it's on a government level, whether it's a societal level, or whether it's like within our a business and leading a movement or a tribe of our own. And the question just comes out to, like where are we at? And I think that's a question that's been on my mind, and a question that I've been dedicating myself to over the last 2 years. It's interesting starting out a conversation like this with the words "I'm not impressed," and it makes me think back. There's like this meme. What it was like? I think it was Michaela's not impressed right now, or just Michaela's not impressed. And I'm comfortable coming from all of my joy and still expressing a truth, a truth of, and here goes the thing. I have to call this out here. It's not that I'm not impressed with the leaders. Actually, they're doing some pretty impressive things for single individuals. They like, I am impressed. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like I'm impressed with Donald Trump. I don't agree with what he's done, but like I'm like to be able to do this and to be able to get like to be able to put the whole world on edge, like that's impressive. I'm just going to call that out. What I'm not impressed with is what appears to be our collective decisions to consistently uh, promote and reward and elect leaders that aren't moving in alignment with what would be best for our futures. And it's so I guess in a way I'm saying it's like I'm not impressed with us. I feel like one of my things as a leader is to take ownership and to ask myself the question, how am I creating this? And I'm not impressed with myself from that perspective. And the thing here is like I'm not even mad really at the leaders for that are doing their thing because that's what they do. Like that's who they are. I'm just not impressed that we couldn't figure that out beforehand. I'm not impressed that we decided to still promote them, still elect them. That's where my thing comes in. It's like, what are we doing? What is it that we believe leadership look like? What is it that we believe that great leaders look like that we keep choosing? Like we actively choose these people to lead us into destruction. It's something that's on my mind. I spend my time now cultivating new types of leaders and really helping them step into their own power, their own unique power, and being able to show up with a style of leadership that's different than what we've seen because our world needs it. And this is something that I believe very strongly in. So, and it's really interesting because in this moment right now, the only words I can describe is I'm not impressed by it. You know, and I do want to take a look at here and look in the mirror and see what is my role with it. I think it's part of the reason why I started up the business. It's part of the reason why I moved down with the World Joy Movement. It's the reason why I hit the record button right now and decided to go live. Not because I had the message that I needed everyone to hear, but I needed to take responsibility for how much, like, for what my contribution is to it. I'm not impressed with me yet. The way I've been describing it to people is you ain't seen nothing yet. I want to call it out just so it can be true, so it can be out in the world, and to give us a place to think here. What are we creating, and why are we creating this? What needs to change about our vision of what a great leader is? Because that's at the core of the World Joy Movement. Great leadership of the future, leaders who will be able to take us and help us grow back with technology as opposed to against it. Leaders who will take us to something new frontiers, new pioneers, new areas where we can continue to grow. I'm not impressed. I'm still joyful. I just got that smile. It's like it's beyond just a smile. I got it all. And I'm not impressed. I'm okay with that. I'm Nemo Asham, founder of Enjoyment and leader of the World Joy Movement. I spend my time working with outliers, pioneers, and mavericks, those who are one of the only, one of the first, or one of a kind in everything that they do. And I help them bring their leadership out so that they can share it with their teams and create a new vision of what this world can look like. Because if you were leading, it would be totally different. So why aren't you? You are a gift to your world. Here's to being more you each and every day. Game on.